It's YUMARU, it's DUCHAN for the finals of the APAC Cup. And for the final time, let's get the call on over to Stoic and make it a bud.
And here we go. YUMARU and DUCHAN. Pre-ban is going to get locked in. Tessarian is going to get the pre-ban, and Gianna is getting the pre-ban. YUMARU with the first pick here.
Yeah, I like that Tessarian pre-ban from DUCHAN here. Allows him to use that Dark on Amusha a lot more effectively down the line if he wants to. So definitely this is obviously a matchup specific pre-ban. He knows what his opponent has. He knows his opponent is very limited in what he can bring. So it takes out his ability to play slow. So if DUCHAN wants to flex slower, he can definitely try to force that issue here. YUMARU is leaning with the Praha here, and he has a decision to make if he wants to go full-on cleave or even wants to flex, kind of keep this as open-ended as possible, and that's exactly what he's trying to do with that Shizuka pick there.
Yep, going with the double water pick there, Shizuka and Praha going for YUMARU's draft. DUCHAN looking to draft a Wind Robo with one other pick as well. Could possibly be a Water Ryu.
And DUCHAN here, going with the cleave. When you commit like this with the Wind Robo and a Nephthys here, he's probably going to finish us off with a Changpeng or a Moor here. But DUCHAN definitely going pretty all in here. I think the last pick's got to be a Moor. Given the fact that his opponent has laid down 2 speed leads, it's going to need to be a Moor. Or a Changpeng. A Changpeng's also okay here. But when he does this, he's just basically looking to take first turn advantage. So you're looking at either this Wind Robo opening the game, or we're going to see a speed-led Changpeng opening the game into a Nephthys. Those are the speeds he's working with. Instead, decides to go for Laura. I'm not sure about the Laura. I think the Laura is a significantly weaker pick because Changpeng allows him to reset attack bars, reset skills, cooldowns, and do a little bit more damage here. So I'm curious to know what DUCHAN is thinking when he takes a Laura there.
Yeah, it's a really interesting decision there to go with Laura. I mean, it's not the most reliable stripper, and it looks like one of the reliable strippers is going to get banned out here in the form of that Wind Robo here.
Yeah, but at the same time, DUCHAN still is representing a lot of damage here. He's going to have a Laura opening into a Nephthys, so he's still going to be able to do a lot of damage here. I just think a Changpeng will be a little bit better. Either way, though, he's going to be able to do a lot, going to be able to stun over time here, and this Masha is going to be able to do a lot of damage onto this Tomo.
Oh, so much value right there with this Nephthys. Nephthys looking for the poke damage here. It's not looking good for the Tomo. Pra can't do anything right now.
Definitely not looking good for the Tomo, but all it takes is one proc on this Delphoy, one proc on this Shizuka to change things. That's a massive stun onto that Delphoy. Gives DUCHAN the upper hand here, and that's 2 stacks on that Nana.
Yep, definitely upper hand indeed. You can see this damage coming towards this Delphoy right now from Masha. Defense break may fall off here. Goes for the cleanse, heals up his team.
Yeah, it goes for the cleanse and heals up this team. The game's not over yet, but there is a large uphill battle for YUMARU to climb here, especially because DUCHAN might have better runes, and DUCHAN does have a 2-stack advantage on his Nana.
Pra thinking about using that third skill, chooses to go with the first skill onto the Masha. Masha did not handle that damage too well at all.
Yeah, YUMARU needs to land an Oblivion at the right time and then find a way to kill units. That's the only way he's going to be able to come back and win this one here, because he's down with two orbs on this Nana here. And DUCHAN needs to take out one more unit and find a way to get that Masha to do some more damage if he wants to secure this victory.
Well, let's see what happens here with this Delphoy. Delphoy with a little bit of poke damage coming towards Laura. Laura handled it very well. He has that second skill. It's going to put him on himself, though, to help reduce a little bit of cooldowns.
Yeah, and it would be nice if this Laura was a Changpeng, because he would be able to reset everything on this next turn, but unfortunately it's just a Laura here. So DUCHAN's going to be able to still use this Laura effectively. He's going to have skills up, and that's a massive 3 units stun, and also giant slow, so a lot of damage coming out from the side of DUCHAN.
Yeah, Laura getting a ton of value right there. You can see the damage going right into that unit, just leaving it. Gianna, never mind, Gianna is gone now. It is just a lonely, lonely Shizuka.
Just lonely Shizuka here, leaving YUMARU with just a Shizuka here, and Shizuka's not going to be able to do enough to come back here. So DUCHAN's going to be looking to take this one, take a commanding 1-0 victory, kick off this finals.
Yep, and there you have it. We've got DUCHAN with the very first victory over his opponent.
Yeah, DUCHAN there with clearly the superior draft there, able to dictate his opening. Either Changpeng or Laura is fine. I think Changpeng's just a little bit more consistent, but they kind of fulfill a similar purpose where the goal is to strip and provide some sort of AoE control. Both units do it. There is obviously no elemental disadvantage when you have Laura to do it, but Changpeng provides a little bit more AoE oppression over time. So both are fine. Both approaches are fine here. And either way, I mean, it's just a stronger draft. So in this situation, DUCHAN just has multiple ways to win that match.
Yep, he really does, and there's just so much more left in that box that we didn't even get to see yet. So he has a lot in store when it comes to SWC. He really wants to get this victory here. We'll see what happens here as we get into these next matches here. We have our round 2 coming up.
Yeah, definitely interested to see how these two players pivot around each other, and of course there's definitely something on the line. Both are going to Korea, so at this point I think the edge, the stress has mainly taken off, but again, first place has, I think, double the prize money of second place. So I mean, definitely when you're playing a best of 5 for a fairly decent amount of money, it's worth thinking through every step. There's definitely a lot of pressure, and also the color of the medals is different. You know, there's the gold medal versus the silver medal. It's something that you kind of keep on your bookcase or on your wall forever. So definitely a lot on the line, a lot of bragging rights. So definitely, we're not done yet, and you know, we'll see if YUMARU is going to be able to pivot, think through this matchup, and pivot in the next round.
Definitely, I look forward to seeing that here as we get into our round number 2 here. I mean, there really is a lot of things that we could see. I kind of want to see more LDs. I kind of want to see those big control cleaves that we can see from DUCHAN. From honestly, both these players here, they have that ability to control cleave each other.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's really what this match is going to revolve around. Both of them are taking wind robos earlier, so we're going to see a lot more cleaving coming out from both players. DUCHAN does have that Dark Onimusha, so his cleave is going to be a little bit stronger than YUMARU's cleave. YUMARU is playing on the back foot here, so you're going to see a lot of the pre-bans from DUCHAN revolve around taking away turn 2 options from YUMARU to force him to play a cleaving type style.
Interesting. We're going to see Amasha and Nephthys. Those are the 2 units that are going to get the pre-ban here as we get into our second match here with DUCHAN and YUMARU.
So I think DUCHAN here is likely going to take probably his Nana or his Shizuka, but I would like to see the Oliver. Yeah, there we go. So we see the Oliver because it allows him to have just a stronger, more cohesive draft. Oliver's good into Shizuka anyway, so I think the Oliver makes a lot of sense. Pairs very well with the Gianna.
Ooh, both these players looking to go real fast. Lots of strippers, lots of turn 1 units here. Looks like DUCHAN's going to be drafting a Wind Robo. Takes it back, and he's going to be bringing out a Ragdoll now.
Wow, so he decides he wants to be able to play turn 2, and I'm not sure about the Ragdoll pick. It's decent, though. Very good pick here. I think YUMARU's going to have to go... Oh, I thought he was going to have to go with the Wind Robo and try to counter cleave, but in this situation, he's definitely going and pivoting to turn 2. So DUCHAN is gonna have to change his draft because those are 2 picks there with 1 more in the back. So DUCHAN cannot cleave here. Goes with the Miles and Tessarian. Makes a lot of sense on both picks here. I think the Miles could be something else, but the Tessarian definitely makes a lot of sense. I think honestly, like, as much as I hate to say a Molly would be pretty good in that Miles' spot. But the Tesla's very good and makes a lot of sense.
Yep, Shizuka is going to be coming out here wrapping up YUMARU's draft. Ban's locked in. It looks like Gianna's going to get the ban. That Shizuka is going to get the ban. Speed lead for both teams here. We have a 33 speed lead for DUCHAN.
Yeah, and that's a triple revenge Verd, so that Verd's not going to have the ability to proc here. And we're going to see YUMARU is going to need to find a defense break from that Changpeng and then use Juno to auto attack. That would be his plan of victory. But DUCHAN can win in a number of ways. He can win with the Tessarian defense break and no Ragdoll. Kind of a lot of different things he can do here. He also has an Oliver to be able to constantly reset his opponent. So I think DUCHAN's in a good spot, and I would expect to see him taking a good advantage early on and win this one.
Yep, and that was the Despair Changpeng there getting that Despair stun on top of the Miles, and boom, just like that, Ragdoll's able to finish off that Vertiheal. Vertiheal's removed from this game. Then we've got that stun is going to be landing a nice little Despair stun. New unit of focus is going to be this Juno here for DUCHAN.
Yeah, DUCHAN at a huge advantage. If I were DUCHAN, though, I would decide to actually go after the Changpeng instead, because Juno does feed the Ragdoll a lot. Either way, it doesn't really matter. That Oliver does have a massive proc there and is able to keep that, should be resetting that Changpeng and keeping that locked down. But again, we know that Changpeng's on Despair, so it's not going to be able to proc here. That Juno, very unlucky, not getting any Despair stuns. So DUCHAN is going to be able to take out 2 units very quickly here, and it's going to go up 2-0.
Yeah, that was definitely a desperation move for that. For the Juno looking for any Despair Stun to get his hands onto. A little bit of poke damage coming out onto the Changpeng. We've got Ragdoll looking for some big finisher. Definitely looking very good for DUCHAN, as that Juno is going to be dying here. It's just a lonely water Ryu. He has to take down 4 other units.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what YUMARU is still doing in this match here. He only has a Moore here, but decides he still wants to stick around.
Yep, and there you have it. DUCHAN taking round 2 away.
Yeah, just a great draft from DUCHAN overall. I mean, he has so many ways to win that one. And YUMARU's draft looking a little thin there. DUCHAN, he had, being able to pump out so much damage really was what gave him the edge there.
Yep, most definitely. I mean, we're going to see a lot of damage in that draft there, and we potentially may see another match with a lot of damage that he could take into him, unless, of course, we got a different draft coming out of YUMARU.
Yeah, and what we see there is YUMARU attempting to do a pivot into slower speeds with the Verd and the Juno, but we see that clearly it does not work. I mean, he knows that he needs to try something different, because playing the cleave and counter cleave game is not going to work out in his favor, because DUCHAN has more options. But we just saw that Verd was significantly slower. I think even slower than the Ragdoll potentially, which is not good, because when that's slower, the Ragdoll moves in front after defense break. You're never going to have a chance to even take a turn. And it's probably a triple revenge Verd, so that means that if DUCHAN's going single target, he doesn't even have to touch that Verd. So I don't think that Verd is equipped to fight that matchup there, and I think might have been not even the right picks to try to play against a turn 2. I would have preferred to see some sort of mollies, some sort of... I don't know if I would prefer to see the mollies, but the mollies would be the right picks. So the molly would be the right pick if you're trying to play turn 2. Verd doesn't really work as a turn 2 unit into a team that has an Oliver and Ragdoll already. It's better into straight AoE teams there. So definitely in the right spot of thinking about pivoting to turn 2s and throwing different angles, but I think different units could have been selected there.
Yep, most definitely. I think that's what needs to happen here. We're going to be getting into that match very shortly. Hopefully there is going to be a little bit of a change of pace if YUMARU wants to try and stay in this match, or can DUCHAN get the 3-0 in the final. It is very possible we could see a 3-0. I think DUCHAN has that quality. He has the box. He has that ability to. He has that experience to get the 3-0 on a player like YUMARU.
Yeah, I mean, DUCHAN might be able to get a 3-0 in the finals. I mean, that would be very impressive here. And so far, he has been looking very dominant. He has a great box, great decision making. I mean, to be honest, neither player has been making too many mistakes, but this one comes down to a matchup situation. I think DUCHAN is able to counter YUMARU in all kinds of different situations. Don't know if there's sometimes when you play an opponent on the ladder or tournament or whatnot, you might not have a solution in your box, what your opponent has to throw at you. And YUMARU is just kind of stuck in a tough spot given the depth of his box versus what his opponent has.
Yep, well, we're going to find out. We got pre-bans that are locking in right now. We got a Shizuka and a Masha getting pre-banned as we get into match number 3 with DUCHAN and YUMARU.
So YUMARU pre-banning the Masha is a little interesting because it means he can't take a Masha. And Masha is very good to take in if you want your opponent to go with the Olivers and the Giannas and things like that. We see the Oliver opening into Nephthys Gianna. So DUCHAN is, I think, down the line, if YUMARU goes with some water units like Nanas and Shizukas, some of the slower stuff, DUCHAN is going to cleave him right down with the Winrobo. Instead, YUMARU goes for the faster lineup with the Tomo Winrobo, and DUCHAN's going to have an interesting decision to make if he wants to commit more or not.
What is happening here, DUCHAN? Is it because it's the final that he's going to go full dark on us?
We might very well see a full dark matchup here. I think we need to see a Juno coming out from YUMARU, or Siren's great here. Delphoy's a little interesting, but I think Delphoy's pretty good here, actually. We see a Pontos coming out from DUCHAN, but I think the Pontos is most likely the ban, given the fact that it presents the most disruption. And I think Oliver is most likely going to be the ban coming out from DUCHAN, although we could also see a ban onto that Tessa. It's going to be one of the two here coming out.
Oh, look at that. Well, the Pontos does not get the ban out. Tessa does not get the ban out. We have Oliver and Gianna getting banned out here. You know, it's an exciting last draft here coming out of DUCHAN, or potentially last draft coming out of DUCHAN here, with this Wind Robo looking to get a full strip here and does not get a full team strip.
Definitely potential last draft here. We might see a skill 2 drop down to bring defense breaks and then have Dark Onimusha score a kill, but he does not go for the kill there. Definitely could have done that, so not sure if that was the right choice to withhold that. I think he could have gone to secure a kill on the Wind Robo and then moved from there. But yeah, definitely an interesting matchup here. We basically see a $100,000 versus a $2 box here.
It's exactly what you're looking at right now, and there's a beautiful Despair Sun sitting on top of that Pontos. Pontos not able to save the team right there, and you can tell that DUCHAN really wants to remove that Wind Robo from the field, but he does have third skill available with units that don't have any will whatsoever.
Onimusha wiped that Wind Robo off the table, but instead decided to withhold his skills for some reason, knowing that there's a Delphoid with immunity coming up. So I'm not sure if that was the right choice there. But again, that Dark Onimusha does a lot of damage to everything on the field, but no unit has gone down yet.
Oh, look at that. I mean, Dark Onimusha pumped up all that damage. Holy Ground's going to be coming out here to save his team. I don't believe he has any resets whatsoever. He does have a skill 2, which doesn't do anything here.
Yeah, but YUMARU doesn't have an answer to this Pontos. There is no strip available to him. That Wind Robo is not on Violent. So at this point, DUCHAN is in a commanding lead here. He's going to take out this Wind Robo, and he's going to be able to do a lot of damage with this Ragdoll.